That's annoying, but at least I realised. I just realised that this wasn't recording and I was halfway through the video. That's okay, let's go from the beginning. Hey crumb bums, how are we doing on this fine day? Welcome back to another empties video. Today I'm going to be talking about makeup that I've used up, giving you my thoughts, the good, the bad, the ugly. And I usually keep these videos to 8 products to make sure they're nice and concise, but I might go over that in this video just a little bit. All this stuff is vegan and cruelty free, and some of it I liked, some of it I didn't like. Also, I'm using a gradual tanner and I feel like I didn't wash it off my hands properly. So if they look a little bit orange, that would be why. So first things first, I'm the realist, and I've also been through a lot of mascaras, a fair few mascaras over the past couple of years. This stuff is from 2 or 3 years. I wonder how many times I've done my makeup in the past 3 years. I wear makeup frequently, so I would say maybe like 300, at least 300 days a year I wear makeup. Times that by 3, 900. 900 applications, makeup. Taking it off, putting it back on, taking it off, putting it back on, taking it off. It's just, the mind boggles, doesn't it? Anyway, these are some of the mascaras that I've used up. These 3 here are from natural beauty brands, clean beauty brands. I always do this nowadays when I say natural and clean, because I used to be really into natural and clean beauty brands, and I still am. I still love a lot of those brands. Like Lolo, I really like a lot of their products. Dusty Girls, not so much. I kind of went off Dusty Girls, but there are loads of brands that market themselves as clean and I still really enjoy. But sorry if you already know this if you watch my channel, but I'm trying to move away from pushing that and more so just learning about ingredients. Doesn't mean that I don't still enjoy natural products or, you know, naturally derived products and things like that, but I think it's nowadays we know that we should learn more just about ingredients, and just because an ingredient is synthetic doesn't mean it's bad for you. But I did go through a phase where I wanted to have all natural makeup, all clean makeup, and 2 of the brands that I was into were Lolo and Dusty Girls. I went through 2 of the Lolo Big Lash. Is it the Big Lash or is it the Natural Lash? They have 2 mascaras. One's in a white tube. This is the one in the black tube, obviously. And the wand looks like, oh, that one's a little bit wonky. Let me show you the other one. That's just an example of my aggressive muscles. Yeah. Oh, that was the same one again. Jeez Louise. There we go. That's what the wand looks like. It's sort of like an hourglass wand, similar to the Better Than Sex wand, but a little bit less kind of full of product. This is an amazing volumizing mascara. I do have a full video on this if you want to check it out. It's really good. It's thickening, it's lengthening, it lifts the lashes like no other mascara. It's genuinely great. On me, it doesn't flake at all. It doesn't smudge. I really enjoy it all round. And also for sensitive eyes, I think this is a really good option. The only reason why I haven't repurchased this since using these 2 is because I tend to go through these really quickly. Because they are a more natural formula, I don't know if they have fewer preservatives in or quite what, but after 3 months of use of these, it will start to itch my eyes a little bit. It will be unusable, which means I need to replace it. And I know we're supposed to replace our mascara every 3 months, but I mean, to be honest, who does that? Who does that? Show me someone who replaces their mascara every 3 months. I use my mascara until it's used up. Unless it starts to itch my eyes, I just keep using it. And I'm still here. I'm still here to tell the tale. So I don't know what that tells you. I'm not advocating for using a mascara for 4 years, but I mean, we do it is the moral of the story. We do it and we live through it. So it's not going to kill you. I would repurchase in theory, but just spending £12 every 3 months is £48 a year, which sounds like quite a lot on one makeup product. The repurchase of one makeup product, considering you can get really good mascaras for really cheap. I'll show you the one I'm using at the moment in a second. This one here, like I mentioned, is the Dusty Girls Natural Mineral Mascara in Nightfall, which is a really pitch black apparently, and it has a very simple wand, a bristle wand. To be honest, I don't like this at all. It's smudged a lot. It's a teeny tiny little bottle. For the price, I think it's a rip-off, and it didn't do anything for my lashes. It's very much reminiscent of those, you know, the old school mascaras when I feel like brands didn't have a grasp on what made a good mascara, so they just made this standard bristle brush and a, you know, a very basic formula which made your lashes look black but didn't add much volume, didn't add much lift, and this is very much a basic mascara that I do not recommend. Next up, I used up 2 of the Boutique Volumizing and Defining mascaras. I love these a lot. I really do like this formula, and I like the brush. I mean, it doesn't do what you think it would do, because you look at that brush and I mean, this is giving me, just looking at it now, it just smudged on my hand. The weird thing is about this mascara is looking at the wand, you'd think it would do a lot of volumizing. The wand reminds me of the Maybelline Colossal mascara, which I used to use when I was a teenager, so forgive me if I've got that wrong. From what I remember, it was in this bright yellow tube with a really chunky wand like this, but this formula is very much a natural looking mascara. Like, I would not recommend this if you're after something super volumizing, super, you know, it's different to the Lily Lolo one. Such a tongue twister, that brand name. Very different to this one, but I like it for giving very natural looking, fluttery, defined lashes. In reality, I would only use this when I'm doing a more natural makeup look, like a simple eye look. If I've got heavy eye makeup on, I don't think this gives enough volume and thickness to balance out a heavy eye look. But I think if you like natural makeup, I think this is worth trying out, because it is, I mean, natural looking makeup, make that distinction. This is very affordable, and I mean, I love a lot of boutique stuff, and this is one that I really enjoyed. I would definitely repurchase. Who would have thought that Sainsbury's of all brands would come out with a vegan, well, mostly vegan and cruelty-free makeup range, which is actually jolly good. Not me. And then last but not least, the last mascara that I finished up was this one, and this was the Essence Volume Hero Mascara, a very black formula. It says it's Power Black for deep black lashes, and this is the wand, very similar to the, what's it called? They're Real mascara by Benefit, which was a cult classic back in the day, not cruelty free, but I did use that one. A very scary one to use because it's super duper spiky, plastic. If you get that in your eye, I mean, we've all been there, not concentrating and then jabbed it in your eye. This one hurts. This hurts a lot. And it's actually very similar to the current mascara I'm using, which is the Amplify Statement Lash by MUA. And I think I prefer this one a little bit more, just because the thing is with Essence mascaras, they are so black that they sometimes look a tiny bit blue. You know, when something's so black, it almost looks navy. I don't know. I like the formula of this one, and I love the price point, and Essence have so many mascaras, it's ridiculous. Anytime you see an Essence stand, it will be just, you know, 50% mascaras. They have a good 10 or 15 mascaras out on every stand I've seen, and they're all pretty much the same. I mean, there's slight variations on the same thing, but I do really like Essence for mascaras, and I love MUA as well. I'm really into the affordable makeup at the moment, and yeah, this I'll show you the 2 brushes compared just for reference. But they look very similar, sort of spiky with the spiky ball on top. I don't know if you can see that, but they are very similar. Take it from me. I think I prefer the MUA formula, like I say, but I think I'll prefer it a bit more once it dries out a bit. Tea break. Oh, gosh, all this talking, not used to it. I was thinking the other day, I think my ability to be social, I've said it on my channel before, but I describe it as everyone has a bottle of energy, a bottle of social energy, where they can be kind of extrovert and socialize and talk to people, and my bottle is already smaller than everyone else's. Like, I always leave the pub earlier than everyone else. I always go home early. I dip out early. I leave Zoom calls earlier than everyone else can, because it just exhausts me. And like, once my bottle is up to this stage, I'm like, right, I'm going to tap out. Otherwise I'm going to be tired and grumpy. And I think over lockdown and not seeing people, I really haven't seen. I was on a Zoom call with my friends on Boxing Day, and 2 of my friends that I haven't seen all year. Yeah, I haven't seen them all year. And I think it was fine for like a Zoom call, but I kind of thought in my head, I was so exhausted afterwards, even though it was so nice to talk to them, I thought, damn it, when I can actually go out and talk to people once everybody's vaccinated, it's gonna be so odd, because my socializing bottle has shrunk. It shrunk in lockdown, and I'm gonna have to kind of wean myself back into being social. So I don't know where I was going with that, but it's just something that came across my mind the other day, and I thought I'm gonna have to make a real effort to make an effort, you know? Anyway, Just some thoughts. Next up, let's talk about a base product, shall we, that I used up. This is by e.l.f. and this was their Hydrating Camo Concealer. I think the original range was just their basic camo concealer, which was quite a full coverage matte concealer. I've got mine in fair warm, by the way. But they came out with this one, which I think is supposed to be more hydrating. And I love the chunky applicator. It's one of these big chunky applicators. I love the price point. The colour match was pretty good. It's not going to match me right now because I've got a little bit of gradual tanner on. I like the packaging. I like the amount of product you get. I like the price point. I think they have a stand in Birmingham. That's where I got this. Birmingham Superdrug in the Bullring Centre. I think they had a pretty good shade range as well from what I could see. The only qualm with this is I feel like it's good. I do think it's a good option, but the coverage and the finish isn't quite as natural as I would want it to look. Like I feel like it kind of sits on the skin in a way. And I think if I'm comparing it to my current favourite concealer, which is also very affordable, it's this one. It's the Revolution Conceal and Define Infinite. They have so many variations of this concealer. It's very confusing, don't get me wrong, but this is essentially the higher coverage version of their original Conceal and Define. So it gives you more coverage. I feel like it lasts longer in terms of the tube, lasts a lot longer because it's more full coverage, so you only need a tiny little dot. And I think that the finish is a lot more natural on this than this, but I do use a bit less of this than this, so maybe it's just the difference in coverage, if that makes sense. Where I'm at the moment is I would rather use less product that has a higher coverage to make it look more natural. I need to use more of this, hence why it tends to look a little bit cakey, a tiny bit cakey, but not overly so. I still think this is a good option and I know a lot of people like it, but I just don't like it as much as this one. So I wouldn't repurchase on that basis. A couple of brow products I used up. I used two pencils. I've gone back to using a pencil. I was using the 100% pure pomade for ages, but I don't know, I think I go between pomades and pencils, but they both do the job nicely. But I love these little micro pencils, very similar to the Brow Wiz by Anastasia Beverly Hills, but obviously these two are a lot cheaper. So this was the NYX Micro Brow, oh god, this is going to be a mouthful, NYX Micro Brow Pencil in Espresso. And this one here was the Gosh Ultra Thin Brow Pen in dark brown, but it says pen, but it is actually a pencil. I like both of these a lot. I like the Gosh one more, but I'm currently using the MUA brow pencil, which is dirt cheap, and it's basically exactly the same thing. So I will not be repurchasing these, but I did think they were really nice. And then two brow gels that I finished up. One, actually, did I finish this one in the... No, I don't think I did. I think there's a little bit left. This was the B brow gel, and I was really excited by this because I love how small the applicator, the spoolie is. It's super duper small, really, really fine. I already have brow gel on, so this feels very crunchy to apply on top, but it just doesn't do anything for me. It doesn't lock the brow hairs in place at all. B is Superdrug's own brand range, by the way, if you didn't know that. It's all vegan and all cruelty free, but yeah, I wouldn't recommend the brow gel at all. And another one that I wouldn't recommend, this was by Pixi, their Brow Tamer in Translucent. Obviously it's not translucent anymore because I've used it on my dark brown eyebrows, but this is just so bad for the price. And even if I paid £1 for this, I would say this is just so bad. If you want to hear more about this, and if you want to know my all-time favorite brow gel, then I will link my ultimate brow gel video. I tested like 15 different brow gels, all vegan, and let you know my thoughts on them. So I will link that, and there's comparison shots of each different brow product, so I'll link that for you if you want to check it out. But these two, not winners. I wear a lot of wing liner, like a lot, and these are some products that I used. These three are the same, however there's a qualm to come, don't you worry. So these were all the Defining Duo Liner by B. They look like this. They're double-ended. In fact, I don't need to open all of them, I'll just open one. They're double-ended brow products by B, and this used to be my absolute favourite brow, did I say brow product? I think I did. Absolute favourite wing liner product, because you get two different kinds of applicator, super duper black, really long wearing, just genuinely, this one's dried up now, but genuinely really, really, really good. You can see how black that top one is. Very nice. You can get a really thin application with this end, a bit more of a chunkier application with this end. I just think as a beginner product, or as an, you know, anyone who likes felt tip liners, this was such a good product. And I don't know what it is about the formula that they changed, but when I used this, and I bought 3, that's how determined I was to think, oh, it's just a bad batch, it's just a bad batch. It's just a bad batch. It wasn't a bad batch because I tried 3 spaced apart, 3 different purchases, and they all start to smell like fish. Fishy bin. Fishy cheesy bin. It's so weird. Like, I don't know what it is. What is it? Is it feety cheesy binny fish? That's what it smells like. It's so strange. It's such a shame because you don't want to put something that smells that bad near your eye because it just feels wrong. It smells expired, even though it would happen the day after I bought one. I would use it once and then the day after it would smell awful. So yeah, I would definitely not repurchase these, unfortunately. I think they're great, and if they change the formula again, I'll let you know, but at the moment I'm not going to purchase any more because I don't want to waste any more product. But I'm really liking the Mina 3 INA eyeliner at the moment, if you want to know my current fave. And then these two are just not so great. So this was the Revolution Awesome Double Flick Liquid Eyeliner. Super rough, super uncomfortable to apply. Didn't like it at all. Just a rubbish eyeliner. I don't recommend this at all. And then the other one I've got here is the NYX Epic Ink Liner. This is said to be a dupe for the Kat Von D Trooper liner, the ink liner, which I did actually used to really like, but that tends to irritate my eyes a little bit and I don't know why. That's a brush tip, same as this one. But the issue with this, even though it is very, very similar and it is long wearing, it says it's waterproof. I wouldn't agree it's waterproof, but it is long wearing. The only issue is the cap. When you put the cap back on, fucks it up. It really does. It messes it up. It looks like, this reminds me of a Cynthia doll. Do you know what a Cynthia doll is? I feel like I've spoken about this on my channel before because I think I tried 2 different bottles of this thinking it was just a dud product, but it's not. It's the packaging bends the bristles back when you put the cap on, which means you can't then get a nice sharp point with the pen. Oh no, the ink's leaking. This needs to go in the bin before it gets on the carpet. Oh, I had one more brow product, sorry. This was the 100% pure medium brown green tea fibre brow gel. Everything's rubbed off it, but it is a teeny tiny little, kind of like the boy brow. But the formula of this, even though the wand is really nice, the formula of this is not like the boy brow. It's not very building, it's not very brow building, it doesn't have as many fibres as the boy brow, and I mean the Glossier boy brow, which is not vegan, but it is nice, but it's not vegan. I think it's got beeswax in. But yes, I wouldn't recommend this one, and for the price, I don't think it's worth the money, in my opinion. It doesn't lock the brow hairs in place that well. I'll see if I can find a video of me using this and link it for you if you want to check it out. But yeah, I don't really like it that much. And I feel like because my brow hairs are quite dark, I don't need a tinted brow gel, and I don't really like it because it sometimes can look a little bit intense. You know, kind of like that drawn on brow look where your brows are quite intense. And because when I'm fair in winter especially, it's just too much. I just like a clear brow gel these days. So this, well, I will not be repurchasing for sure. A lip product that I finished up. There's actually a tiny little bit of this left. I think I could scrape some more of it out. Maybe apply some now actually. This is the Hourglass Unreal Lip Gloss in the shade Prose. I think the colour of this is smashing. I think it's a really beautiful tone on my, I think it flatters a lot of complexions is all I'll say. I think it's a really beautiful nude pink, a true nude pink that I really, really enjoyed. And I will be honest, it lasted me a long time. I used this very, very frequently and it did last me really well. Well over 1.5 years, I would say. And I used it frequently. But for the price, is it worth the money? I would say maybe it is worth the money, but it is just a lip gloss and it's not the most glossiest gloss ever. It's not super duper duper glossy, you know, it's glossy and it's nice and it's really pigmented and the colour is beautiful, but it's not a Fenty gloss bomb, it's not a Revolution pout bomb, you know what I mean? So is it worth the money? Probably not. £38 for a lip gloss is ridiculous, but I do think the colour is splendid and I love the big paddle applicator. I think it's gorgeous. So I potentially would repurchase this, which is a big thing for me to say because it's a lip gloss, but I do love lip glosses. So yeah, I want to see what other shades they've got in this range because I'm pretty sure they've got quite a big collection. I'm really being deterred from spending loads of money on makeup. Like, I used to be quite interested in designer makeup and high-end makeup, and nowadays I feel like maybe it's because we know more about how much makeup actually costs to produce. that it deters me. Like, spending £38 on a lip gloss that probably cost them 2p to make is pretty bonkers. Talking of expired makeup and so on and so forth, this was the CeraVe Botanicals Love and Light Highlighter Cream in the shade, oh, it didn't have a shade, but I think they did do different shades of this. It is a really beautiful, stunning liquid highlighter that I really enjoyed using. And if you remember me getting this, you are a real one, because I got it ages ago in a subscription box, which I used to love, and for the life of me, I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Natural Beauty Box or something. Oh my gosh, what was the name of that box? I used to look forward to it every month. So I used to get Petit Vour, which I stopped getting because I thought I didn't really rate it that much. And I also used to get this other box, which the name escapes me, but they stopped delivering to the UK. They stopped doing international shipping because they're US based. I think they're still around, and I would recommend, if you're in the US and you want a subscription box, that was my favourite. I thought it was so good, and they're all natural products as well. Even if you don't care about natural stuff, they had really interesting products. This was one of them, and this brand we got a lot in the box, and it's such a cool highlighter. I'll try and show you in the light. You might not be able to see, but it has a kind of, it's golden, but it has an almost gold green shift to it, but it's really wearable and it lasts really well. It looks amazing on the skin. Oh, I wish I didn't have to get rid of this, because it's such a beautiful highlighter, and I love a liquid highlighter that sort of sits. I just think liquid highlighters blend so nicely on the skin, especially compared to powder. So yeah, I'm really sad I have to get rid of this, and I definitely would repurchase it. If CeraVe Botanicals sold in the UK and was easier to get hold of in the UK, I would definitely repurchase this because it was really good. And I love this applicator as well, brush tip. So interesting, really nice. Last but not least, I finished up a nail polish, or there's a little bit left, but it's super duper gloopy, not really usable. I might keep this and just do my toes with this, because I think I can scrape a little bit more out of this bottle. But this was the Boutique nail polish in the shade Forever Red. I loved this polish. I will definitely repurchase it once I finish this one up properly, because it genuinely did last so long on the nails, as they weren't kidding when they said Forever Red. I love this shade of red. It's a really beautiful dark red. But yes, that is it. This is the last, I just nearly ripped my earring out. That's the last empty I have to share with you guys. Thanks ever so much for watching, and hear that? Hear that? That's Phineas. Here is it. Hello! Come and say hello to the people. Come and say hello to the people. Hiya. Hi, Grumpy. Hi. Hi. That is the last empty I have to share with you guys. Thanks so much for watching, as I was saying. And if you want to see more from me, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.